At home with Lucas here. So today we're going to be talking about the Orbit B-Hyve Smart Hose Timer. Yes, people, I'm on my third Orbit timer. I went through some of their cheaper ones, then I went for a metal one, and now I'm on the Smart Hose Timer by Orbit. This company is known to make plastic on plastic on plastic devices that don't really last. In my opinion, they break pretty quickly. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this thing is plastic on the outside, but has at least some kind of metal on the inside to keep it alive a lot longer, because those internal valves are super important for this thing to turn on and off. So this thing has a smart app that goes along with it. So you're gonna be able to control this thing literally from everywhere. You're wondering, how do you do that? Well, it comes with a tiny little hub that you plug into the wall, and you basically just control the device through that. That little hub will send a signal to your Smart Hose Timer, which will turn it on and off. It'll also do a whole bunch of other stuff like rain delay. This thing has a huge amount of customization features, so it's going to be able to water your lawn, your plants, your vegetables, whatever you have, to the specific specs of those plants. It's absolutely amazing. This thing is for the people that want to put in a lot of work to get everything customized for their garden, for their lawn. This thing also has the ability to tell you how much water consumption you're using. But the main thing for me is that I'll be able to take my hose and my sprinkler, walk out to a far distance in my lawn, and turn it on through the app without having to run back to the spigot and turn it on that way. So for me personally, I'm a very simple user. I just need it to turn on and off through the app. I want to be able to control it while I'm sitting in my house, or if I'm out away from the house, I want to be able to control it also. So for me, it's just a very simple, straightforward device. But like I said, you could customize it to make it perfect for you. So in this video, we're doing a hands-on with the box, quick unboxing and first impressions on said B-Hyve. After that, I'm gonna be putting this bad boy to the At Home Lucas test to figure out, is it something you should buy or maybe skip altogether? I'm here for you, so I don't have to waste your time buying and returning. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, let's take a closer look at this box. It's pretty colorful and very bright. It's the B-Hyve by Orbit. All right, I really like the layout of this box. Really simple, really straightforward. There is your Wi-Fi hub right there, and there is your smart timer. Take a closer look at the Wi-Fi hub. So this thing is very simple, almost comical in my opinion. You have this wall wart right here, which powers the USB stick down here at the bottom. This is the USB stick that plugs into that. It looks really funny. It looks like something Batman would carry. Very silly looking and very funny, but oh, it's got a clicky button on the front, and it looks like an indicator light right there. All right, let's take a closer look at the B-Hyve itself. So here's what it is. It's made out of some decent plastic. It's not cheap. You have some nice metal up top here, and of course down here you need it the most, it's just plastic. Okay, it took a little bit of force, a lot more force than I would have liked, to pull out the battery tray. There's a seal around it, so of course this is waterproof. This is actually a physical button, and there's your indicator light. Okay, so first impressions, I don't like the fact that this is plastic. I wish that they would have just thrown some metal in there. That kind of tells me that basically everything inside of here is just plastic. And knowing this company, it's not very strong on the inside, because this company does not know how to make products that last. So this is now my third timer by Orbit, and every one of them broke. They all broke in the same way, cheap plastic on the inside. So I'm not, I don't have high hopes for this thing. This thing probably won't last more than one season. So let's go ahead and get this thing reviewed. Okay, so luckily I had this one to plug it into. It's not too far from the router, not too far from the hose. Okay, so they don't give you a QR code, as far as I know, to scan to jump straight to the app. So you're gonna have to type in the name of the app, which is B-Hyve. And there it is right there. Looks like you have to actually plug this in to your faucet before you can finish setting up the app because you need the flow rate. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap that on there right now. Okay, there we go. That went on pretty easily. And because I have a hose reel down here, I have no worries about this getting tugged on or broken, even though this is literally just all plastic on plastic on plastic. The threads down here are solid, but once again, I'm gonna keep saying it should be metal for sure. So let's go back to the app and check the flow rate. Okay, now we're back in the app. We're gonna hit the test button and it's gonna start the flow. Okay, and there's my flow rate right there. It looks like it's 3.1 gallons per minute. So one of the biggest benefits I found for a smart hose timer is really simple. You have a hose in your backyard, your kid wants to water the pool, he wants to play with the hose, you can literally just pull out your phone in a matter of seconds and turn it on. We sometimes have to lock our gate so that the kids don't try to escape and run wild. So this is actually really awesome. Also, if you're out 50 feet, 100 feet from your spigot and you forgot to turn on the hose or you just didn't want to, boom, you could pull out the app, turn on the spigot, and you're good to go. You could even set a timer, so if you wanted to only water an area at a certain amount of time, like a minute, so you could do that. Okay, now let's take a minute to talk about their B-Hyve app. So this app is not the best, and it definitely needs a good visual overhaul. It still has this sort of old school look to it, and it's kind of just blah to me. There's nothing about it that really stands out that's super exciting or cool, and it's just functional, but in a very, like, look at this, like, it just does not look appealing. It's not something that you really want to use. When you hit the start button on here, it does take a minute to get your hose to turn on, for the timer to click over there. It's a little bit longer than I would like, but it's not terrible. It definitely does a good job. The way that you go ahead and set the amount of time that you're going to use is kind of annoying. It's I don't know, there's something about it that's just really, really annoying, and it's not super user friendly. Like, it's just, there's something about it that I can't really explain, but it's quite annoying and I don't like it. The rain delays are aggressive. It will literally not allow you to push the button on the actual unit. So if the rain delay is on and you're like, I need to water my car really quick, or I need to, you know, spray something off the driveway that just spilled, you have to actually go in here and cancel your delay, which is super annoying. And I'm just going to turn that off entirely because I run a very simple system where I have my sprinkler attached to my hose. I set it out in my yard, I turn it on for an hour, and then I bring it back inside, and then it's not used until I need it again. I don't have a bunch of hoses all around my yard that's creating some kind of sprinkler system. So rain delay is silly. This shop section up here is kind of silly. You just have a lot of information, a lot of things that you can click on. As you can see, that brought me right back here. It's just needs a full overhaul, just a quick update to make it more premium and just that much more user friendly. Right now it looks more along the novice side, someone who just really wants all the little tiny details, but not all the pretty pictures. I think they need to blend the user pretty pictures with all the information, and you'll end up with a great unit. But for someone like me who's not trying to have 15 sprinklers around my yard, I think that this is probably just overkill. I just want a simple timer. I want to be able to control it if I'm at home or if I'm away, and this thing does that, but it does it in a way that it's just not that enjoyable. So definitely take note of that. This thing is definitely on the more confusing side and on the non-user friendly side. But it does give you a lot of information, which is great, and if you add some of their other stuff to it, it will work. So I'm going to give this app a 3.9 out of 5 stars. Okay, I've been using this bad boy for long enough that I think I have a full star rating. Let's just start off with the build quality. So this thing is built really nice. It's not gonna fade in the sun because it's just gray. Everything about it just works really great. The one big dig I have is that this button is a little bit small and it doesn't work all the time. Like it's good, it's just not great. So I wish that the button pressing was a little bit better and a little bit faster. There's just something about it that's a little bit on the slow side. I never had any problems with the thread down here. I pretty much threaded this in to my hose reel down here and it just worked perfectly the whole time. So that was really awesome. Everything about it just works. I'm gonna give it a 3.8 star rating. I'm gonna say that it's not the best out there. The app definitely needs to updated and it just needs to be just a little bit more current in terms of the time. Also, this company is known to make stuff that just breaks over time and breaks really, really quickly. So definitely take note of that this thing is not gonna be something that's gonna last forever. All the products I bought from them have broken in less than a year, so take note of that. But in my experience, the valve in here was working fine. It would turn on, it would turn off, no big deal. I didn't have any leaks or anything like that, so solid star rating, recommended if you know what you're buying. Buy it. All right, there you go. That's the Orbit B-Hyve. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely click that like button. And if you want to join the Adam Lucas family and you want to be a part of this crew, hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.